Hi, and welcome to this new episode of The Light Leaders. Today, I want to be short and sweet about an update on my fruitarian / more raw vegan journey now. And we'll divide it in 5 parts, which is 1, have been feeling and the adjustments I've made to the diet. Number 2 is the tests I've done with Iridiology, so tracking the signs of improvement through reading the eye. Third one is the blood results. 4th part will be around body fat scans, and the last part will be about what's next. Because I think it's really important to tune into how we feel. That's so important. But it's good to use our modern science to do tests, and I like to take it from different angles. So blood test, Iridiology, body scan, and each of them not perfect, but together they help along with obviously the feeling. So starting with how I've been feeling. I've been feeling good. So it's been around 2 years now that I'm mainly raw vegan. I would say in the past 2 years, I ate on average maybe 70 to 80% fruits, especially if you count tomatoes, avocados, and cucumber that are actually fruits, and zucchinis. And about 90 to 95% raw. I do have sometimes a little steamed pumpkin, but in general, I keep it raw. And I've done a few adjustments. A few months ago, I was more on the Lauren Lockman path, more the full fruitarian. I did feel, however, that on that fruitarian path, I was almost lacking stimulation. I was getting a little bit hard to be driven sometimes, especially to work out. And so I went more towards the, let's call it the Shane Sterling diet, which is adding a smoothie usually in the morning, often putting cacao and some superfoods, ashwagandha, and also often adding a big salad. So I'd have tomato, avocado, cucumber, and then make a sauce with seeds like sprouted almonds, sprouted pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, lime, and make a sauce from that. So more fat in the diet too. And I feel that's been working better for me. I feel a bit more full and a bit more stimulated, at least for now. And that has helped me hit the gym quite regularly. So I've been actually keeping track using the recommendation from Ted Carr. So I use an app like this. And in this app, I don't know if you can see well, you can, come on, webcam. Oh yeah, that's a good webcam. You can track. So for example, this is an exercise called hanging knees. So at the beginning, on the 3rd of April, I was doing 15 reps with no weight or 10 reps. And that's lifting my knees while I'm hanging. And I've kept beating the records and I keep track. And then now, I'm at 17 reps, 12.5 kilos. So I've been tracking that for many different kinds of exercises, bench press and many things. And where I'm at now is that I've made a lot of progress in the past 2 months in terms of strength, and I can see it in my body. And almost to where I was at in 2018 when I was about 8 kilos more. But yeah, and I was a little bit stronger at that time. So I'm almost back to where I was at that time when I was going quite a bit to the gym, but I was also quite a bit heavier. But I kept track of some of my personal bests. So we'll see how that evolves. That's been exciting. And yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention, 2 years raw vegan, probably one of the most important in terms of health, is I haven't really been sick. A year and a half ago, I had a week when I coughed a lot and released a lot of mucus, but I was doing a yoga teacher training and I was still going, even though I was coughing a lot. So it wasn't like a really strong fever or anything. And sometimes I've had a day or a few hours when I wouldn't feel really good. But overall, not like, 3 or 4 days in bed or something like this. And that's really cool because we want to be healthy, feel well, also perform well, and look good. And I feel that it's been pretty much the case for me. It's still not perfect, and I'll dive into it, but pretty happy for now. I don't feel like I need, I don't know, any animal product or something very different. We'll see how things evolve. So that's for the first part of how it's been evolving, how I've been feeling. And now I'd like to go into the more scientific, let's say, checks that I've been doing in the past few weeks and months, starting with iridiology. So with iridiology, I'll actually do a full episode soon with Dex, who's the person who does my iridiology report. He's been working with Dr. Morse, and he's amazing. I hope we'll do a podcast in the next few weeks, if not next week. And we'll dive more into the details, but I'll share my screen here. Overall, it's been really, really good. So I will find it. It is not there, but there. And so iridiology, and we'll dive into it, but what you do is you look at the eye, at a photo, and you notice it's a map of the body, map of the organs. So if I pull one somewhere, here you have some examples, but I think at the beginning they put that's basically the map of the organs. There's everything according to that science that you can see through the eye. It's a little bit, reflexology. You press some places in the foot and it's linked to somewhere in the body, some organ. Well, same here, you can see, and my friend Dex, he says, we say the eyes are the window to the soul, but here it's also the window to your health. And so I did it 2 years ago, because what's interesting is the evolution. So when I started, based on his advice on the raw vegan journey, and you can see the improvements. So it's not always super easy to see, but basically some lines have shrunk. Like this one was more obvious in 2021, and now it's like smaller, and he pointed out all those improvements. And same for the other eye, for the right eye. You can see this big stain here is much smaller here. And so it takes time. And we also know even people who change their eye colors. For me, I'm naturally brown-eyed, so that won't change drastically, but for people who are blue-eyed, it can. And that's very interesting. So according to my iridiology report, so many things are getting better, like so many. So I have kidney, pancreas, like you name it, thyroid, skin ring, all of this is getting much better, and we'll dive into it. But so that was a really good news that showed me, okay, I'm on the right path, I'm getting healthier. Good news. So then the next part we'll do is the blood results, which were more mixed results. The thing with blood results is some of it is really interesting, but sometimes they can be a little bit limited in the way that what's in your blood doesn't always reflect what's been absorbed by your cells, and it's only part of the picture. So the reason why I like iridiology and why Dr. Morse recommends it is because it looks at the lymphatic system, which has a lot of information that isn't captured in the blood often. So, but iridiology is not as common. So, some people might say, oh, it's a scam, or I don't know. I think it's pretty relevant. I think it's my go-to, my favorite, but I like to mix it with blood results. So blood results, I will share my screen again because, well, it's such a big report that they give you. So I went to somewhere called BSI in Bali. They have a clinic there, and it's amazing. They take your blood and they make, not only they send to the laboratory for like a big report, they'll send you a big report and okay, I have a bit of parasite, and they look at all these things. It's pretty amazing. But they also look at your live blood, and you look at it together, and they say, oh, this is candida, this is a fungal colony, this is your your neutrophil cell non-active, that's not tackling your fungal colony. And what I got from this is, according to them, I have a few issues, around red blood cell count, have potentially low B12. And actually, I did a B12 test after, and it's slightly low. So I started to take B12. So that's from the blood analysis. I'm not going to go too much into details, but they give you like a 30-page report with many things. And I'm overall pretty good. My kidney and liver are amazing. Many things are good. A few things is my blood was also quite slow. So that feels to me like maybe the lack of stimulation I felt and what I changed my diet also. And we'll see with more cacao, more superfood, a bit more protein and fat in my diet if that changes. And also we're starting to take the B12 supplement. Because I know the hardcore fruitarians, like Lauren Lockman and Dugram, even Dr. Morse, they're like, no, you don't need to take B12. And I kind of think they're right, but at the moment, I prefer to see how things evolve when I take a bit of supplement. And as I grow more fruits from my garden and work more the soil and all that, I think I might then skip the supplement. Also, maybe water fast could help with that. And I'll talk about it. But yeah, that's usually Lauren Lockman's go-to, right? If you have a deficiency, a water fast could really help you, which is counterintuitive, but actually a lot of deficiencies in that system are not taking the nutrient, they are not absorbing. And things like fasting increase your efficiency. So what I've changed from that is mainly taking the B12 and looking for slightly more stimulating diet, which I was kind of intuitively already doing. And the last part, which was a little bit disappointing for me because I've been putting some work at the gym, is the body scans. So I do them, I had done them at different times in the day, which I think influences. Now I'll try to do it always in the morning without taking any water and any food to have something more consistent to compare. But basically, I've been doing those body scans. So I can show you the latest one. So it looks like this. It's called Bio-Impedence machine. And they look at your weight and your muscle mass and your body fat. And okay, come on, focus. Anyway. And yeah, also per area, they look at all that. And you can calculate your hydration level too, and body fat percentage. So I will share my screen once again, because I put them online because I like to have the record. And basically I can see the evolution of my body fat, and well, I've taken more fat. I'm getting a bit more fat. I was quite disappointed that our muscle mass hasn't increased since May 2022. So that's May 2022, August, March 2023, June 2023. And actually decreased. Well, I've been going so much to the gym, but according to that, it's in my legs. Well, maybe I want to do more the upper body, you know, like to look better, but yeah, I don't know how accurate these machines are. I could do more tests, but that's an interesting one also so body fat percentage is an interesting metric. And the other interesting metric that I got from Lauren Lockman is the hydration level. That's a really important metric according to him, and you calculate it by taking the total body water and you remove the fat, the water from the fat, which is 10% of the body fat mass. And then you divide it by the weight minus the body fat mass. So it's basically the water that's in the lean mass. You exclude the fat and the water from that's part of it. And yeah, I think that's pretty good, pretty hydrated, but I think Lauren says you can go up to something like 75 or 80%. So we'll see. I'll keep tracking that. Because it's been a year, it's a little bit early to all of this. I'm happy I started, you know, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago and the second best time is now. So that's what I've started doing, at least like a year or two ago, is to start really tracking metrics for my health, whether in terms of performance or blood test or iridiology or these body scans, and yeah, and keep tracking and see the evolution and see if what I'm doing is working for me, on top of how I feel and what people say around me. So that's for the little update. What's next is that's why I wanted to do this video now, is I'm going into a water fast for 10 days. I might extend a few days, but my goal is 10 days on just water. I'll drink rainwater kept in a clay tank, which is close to distilled water, but purely distilled by God, because I don't resonate as much with the distilled in distiller. I don't like that the water is boiled. I feel it has less life energy. I know Lockman is not a fan. He prefers the spring water, but I'm wanting to do my own experience. I thought at the beginning of doing it more with him and the 21 days on spring water, and because, he's the man, he knows how to do them, but I wanted to go more slowly. Maybe next year, start with, my maximum is 5 days on water. So I'll do 10 days, I'll rest. And I feel like it's already a really good step. And I want to make my own experience of how I feel. I have friends here, they've done the 21 days, and 2 or 3 months later, they tell me they can't go for a surf with me on the shortboard because they still feel too weak. And that's not what I want. I want to do my 10 days and take a couple of weeks 2 or 3 weeks to rebuild and be like within 2 weeks after the fast to be like performing pretty well, going for surfs, going for workouts. So that's what's next for me. I wanted to give you that little update. And if you like it, please like the video, subscribe, share, and let's see where the journey takes us. Much love.